Well, welcome to another episode of Built for Growth. Today, I had Tyson McGuffin on, who is a professional pickleball player. But I think there are a lot of things that you may not know about pickleball. I mean, I was very curious because I've never played pickleball, and this is something that I've been asked to play. You know, my coach, Kirk White, who he actually knows, his brother wrestled with. So funny, small world. But, you know, everyone has been like, you got to play this game, pickleball. My 5-year-old son has played pickleball. I have never played pickleball, but I got a racket. Actually, it's right over here within my reach. If you are watching this, you will see. I got a racket from Tyson McGuffin. I hope that's the right term for this. And I feel like I have no excuse. So I'm going to get my hand in pickleball. But I digress. He is so much more than just a professional pickleball player. As we go into, you know, his upbringing, he wrestled. He has some really funny stories that he shared about his dad and how hard he used to push him, and the character building, tenacity that comes with sport, particularly wrestling. So we kind of have some fun banter about that. And we also talk about, you know, his transition to tennis and then his transition to pickleball, and how it really is for everybody. How do you get started? And we also talk about general wellness. Like, what are his biggest things that help him the most when it comes to feeling like, you know, his best self as an athlete and as a dad and everything. So there's a lot of fun and great talk and information in this podcast. I know you're going to love it. So as always, thanks for listening. Tyson, thank you for being here today. This is such a treat to be able to sit down and just get to know you a little bit. I mean, I feel like we have some kind of common background. Our roots kind of somewhere tangle with each other. Just never really knew that until I started looking into, you know, your past. But my coach, Kirk White, my wrestling coach, your brother went to, how does that
So
work
my
again?
brother Jay went to Boise State, wrestled. So there's 7 siblings total, 6 boys, 1 girl. I'm the baby.
Okay.
And Jay wrestled at Boise State with Kirk. I think Jay was a senior, Kirk was a sophomore. And then Kirk came in the pickleball space, I don't know how many years ago. And I remember seeing Kirk at a tournament. And I went to like the conference, like the Boise State conference tournament when Jay was a senior and Kirk was a sophomore, and got to meet Kirk then. So I hadn't seen Kirk since, I don't know, it's been like 15 years, right? If not more. Saw him at a pickleball tournament. I was a pro player. He was like a 3.5 or a 4.0. And like the levels in pickleball, or like the ratings in pickleball, goes from like a 3.0 up to like a 7.0, right? So I'm like considered like a 6.8, which means nothing. But, you know, so Kirk, Kirk saw me at a tournament, said hi, said he'd been following my career.
Did he try to teach you some things about pickleball?
Kirk loves to coach.
Kirk, that man was born to coach.
Man, the guy is fucking born to coach, right? He's the ultimate coach. But no, he just said, he was super cool. He just said that he remembered that he had wrestled with Jay, and he'd been following my career and was super proud of me and stuff like that. But talk about a guy who is so intense. Like, we were joking about this. I have personally never seen Kirk smile. Most people that I know that know Kirk just see him as just a freaking savage, right? The guy is a total beast. He walks around. He's got 2 banged up knees, right? Looks like he's got a fuse in his neck. He's stiff as could be. I kid you not, though. His pickleball game over the last couple years, he hobbles around, right?
But you get him on the mat, though, and absolute savage. Still, he's like around. He's like near 50.
How? Just mat sense?
I don't know, honestly. He's the master of like workarounds too, though. Like if you have an injury, like he will just develop a system to like get around it. You know what I mean? Like the man just
surgeon like.
Yes,
right,
surgeon like exactly.
But yeah, Kirk's pickleball game now, he's like a 5.0. And obviously just knowing Kirk's work ethic, like I'm sure he spent the last 5 years playing pickleball like 3 hours a day, 7 days a week, just consuming educational content and just grinding, you know?
Well, okay, so when my fight, where was it, in Austin?
Your most recent?
The second most recent.
Okay.
Well, both fights,
Okay.
I would say. They had, him and his wife had
Were
brought
in
their
your camp.
pickleball.
Oh,
yeah,
sorry,
yeah, yeah.
okay.
No, they had brought their pickleball set, and
Of
they
course
always find
they
the
did.
court. So now whenever I see a pickleball court, you know,
You think of Kirk.
Yeah, I think of Kirk. I mean,
Right.
I can't not. But I still haven't played pickleball yet.
Oh,
He's like,
Miesha, that breaks my heart, honestly. Yeah, I'm going to leave today and you're gonna have my signature paddle in your hand.
No
And then I'm gonna
way.
send you a pair of my signature shoes from Skechers.
Oh,
Yes,
I love.
I'm
Okay.
gonna deck you out,
No
girl.
longer have excuses.
That's right. That's
Yeah.
right. Got the
So,
best of the
so
best.
he keeps trying to get me to do it.
Of
Like,
course.
he wants
yeah.
to, coach
He seems
me
like
in
a
that.
very persistent man. You know?
Yes, he is. But I still haven't done it. So I mean, I think because I don't live in Boise,
Right.
I've gotten away with not doing it yet.
Okay.
But if we lived in the same, I know this would have
Game
already
over.
happened. Yeah.
And Boise, not gonna lie, Boise's booming right now. There's a ton of people moving there, and a shit ton of outdoor pickleball courts, indoor pickleball courts. It seems like that's like the pickleball mecca of Idaho
You
right
find
now.
yourself there often then?
Honestly, I haven't been to Boise since I think I watched Jay wrestle in that conference tournament, like back in 2000. I live in Coeur d'Alene.
Yeah.
Coeur d'Alene's 8 hours north.
Yeah.
So
Still quite a hike. Yeah.
I like to say North Idaho is like the best part of Idaho. It's mountainous, it's green, it's lush. You get all 4 seasons. Where Boise, I mean, it's beautiful, but it's just flat, right? It's flat. It's
It
not.
is. Well, you're in a valley, but then you have the Sawtooth Mountain Range.
You
that's
do,
around
you
I mean,
do.
So you can
Oh, yeah.
you can get out there and get some altitude and
Right,
hike and things
right.
like that. But you're right. Yeah. I mean, mostly there. I mean, Coeur d'Alene is absolutely gorgeous.
Coeur d'Alene's a little slice of heaven, right?
It
I
is a
mean,
little
it's
slice
freaking
of
God's
Well,
country.
we're
out
gonna be
there.
moving to Boise.
Oh no! Oh no! Don't be a Boise girl.
Why
Yeah,
not?
I'm
Okay.
totally joking.
Well, Johnny, my fiance, he's
Okay.
from Boise. He wrestled at BSU.
Got it. Of
So
course.
Kirk was his coach. So
No
that's how I know Kirk.
freaking way.
Yes.
I
Yeah.
swear, like the tennis world for me, I played tennis before, was super small. Pickleball world is even smaller. And wrestling, same thing. Like, it's so funny. Like, I can't tell you how many. I have a pickleball camp business, and I can't tell you how many wrestlers have like taken my camp because they loved that I was a wrestler too back in the day, or just in
Yeah.
general, how many wrestlers I've met playing pickleball. Like, you wouldn't think that wrestling and racket sports go hand in hand, but there's
I would either. I'm a bit intimidated, to be honest, because I've
Right.
just never been a ball sport person.
for sure.
In any way.
Han and I.
Yes, it's
right.
not really my thing. I've
Right.
been known for like I'm not like a spectacular striker in MMA. Like I'll
Right.
brawl with the best of them, but
Right.
I'm not somebody who's out there accurately landing shots. And I don't think accuracy is
Is
where
your
y-
forte.
Yeah, but I'm interested. Even my 5-year-old son has gone
Okay.
out to the pickleball courts with
It's
Johnny,
great for kids.
and he's loving it. He's
Yeah.
having fun.
Well,
with it.
just the entry is just it's much easier than most racket sports, right? Like you take a look at tennis. Like tennis, I taught tennis for so many years, and in order for me to get Dorothy, let's say Dorothy's 50 years old, right? In order for me to get her to a certain level where she can actually rally and have fun in tennis, it's going to take like 3 lessons a week for a couple months, right? Where in pickleball, I can take Dorothy and like within 10 minutes, she can have a 10-ball rally and have a great time and get like a ton of value out of it. So just the learning curve of pickle is so much
Because
easier.
the court's smaller.
Court's smaller, ball doesn't bounce as high. It's not as powerful. Like tennis, the court is so freaking big and the ball jumps up so high. And so just for kids, like they're fighting for their life with balls up here and they have to scoop super far back. So pickleball is just more enclosed. Like you can essentially put
What about
four.
the height of the net is shorter. too? No.
It's pretty similar.
Pretty
So
similar,
pickle, it's 34 inches in the middle. It's 36 inches on the outside. I think tennis is somewhat similar. But you can put 4 pickleball courts on 1 tennis court. But yeah, tennis, love tennis. Spent my whole life playing tennis, but not gonna lie, just like the learning curve or like being a teaching pro in tennis and like the perspective of somebody just having growth as like a club player and trying to get better. It's just exhausting from a coaching perspective. It takes so long.
Yeah.
Where in pickle, it's satisfying. I mean, honestly, like I can take Dorothy in like a 2-day camp. So like we do these 2-day camps, 5 hours both days. It's like a 10-hour boot camp, right? And on like let's say day 1 she's a 3.0. After 10 hours, I can get her to like a 3.5 or like a 3.75. That same thing in tennis would take years. So I think that's a good reason why pickle is growing. You get this whole community effect of like different walks of life out there from like different financial backgrounds, and like nobody gives a shit. Like there's no status. Everybody's just super down to earth. You don't have that country club feel that like you do at like a tennis facility or like a country club for golf. And from a health perspective, it just checks all the boxes, It's kind of funny too. Like there's so many people dating from pickleball as well. I met my wife playing pickleball in 2018. I told myself I would never shit where I slept, if you know what I mean. Being a teaching pro and touching a client, she was the first. I taught tennis for like 10 years, right? I told myself I would never touch any of my clients. And one thing led to another with my wife. But anyhow, just it's a great game. It checks all the boxes. It's the fastest growing sport right now. It's the fastest growing racket sport. And yeah, I've been doing some international travel this year. First time. I've been on the tour now for like 10 years. I went to Vietnam twice, went to Malaysia, went to China. And went to Australia, took 2 golds down in Australia, which was pretty cool. Actually, I think you would appreciate this story, just being a wrestler and being a tough individual that you are. Down in Australia, get there like Monday, right?
What part?
We're in Melbourne,
Okay.
which is gorgeous.
Yes.
First time down there. So obviously, with the time change and all that, made sense to get there like a week early. I'm doing 2 days for like the first, half of the week, and then tournament starts. First day of the tournament. So singles is like Thursday, mixed doubles is Friday, men's and women's doubles is Saturday, and then finals are Sunday, right? So I'm the number 1 seed in singles. So very first match, we're playing in a convention center, and basically it's on concrete, but they have this stuff called pickle roll. It's like a carpet that rolls out into a court, which is pretty cool. Yeah. So anyhow, so these just like the pickle roll is really gummy. It's almost like sandpaper. So like the way that I move, I kind of like to slide, as I'm moving and stuff. Long story short, first match, I blow my freaking hamstring like within 5 minutes of the very first match. Right. I like go out for a wide ball.
Is it because that texture of the ground is different?
It's like gummy. So I'm in my Skechers shoes. I go out
compared to normal.
Normal. It's not as grabby.
Okay.
You can glide a bit more, right?
Okay.
So, yeah, first match, it feels like somebody's got a freaking gun in the crowd and shot me in the back of the leg. I look at my wife, I kid you not, like tears just start rolling down my face. And like that shock where you feel shock and all of a sudden just sheets of sweat come out of you, right? It's like you're scared. Right then and there, I'm like, fuck, something is very wrong. I ended up just gutting it out, finding a way to get it done, finish the match, win the match. I go to medical after. And I'm like, yeah, I felt like somebody had shot me in the back of the leg. Like a year prior, I had plantar fasciitis in my right foot. Same thing, snapped the tendon, and it felt like somebody had like shot me in the back of the leg as well. So I had some experience with like snapping tendons and just understanding like that feeling. So I tell
Only athletes can laugh about that.
So I tell the medical people, I'm pretty sure it's something in the origin area. It feels like it's near like my right testicle, but it's more interior. I think it's my high hamstring. So anyhow, so they basically, so I'm in medical, right? They enclosed the whole area. I'm in my Skechers shorts that has liners. They're kind of tight. They're like 5-inch shorts, right? She can't get to that area. So she's like, hey, drop your pants. So I'm like, okay, that's fine. So she, I swear to God, she bends me over. I drop my pants. She freaking wraps my leg up and just puts like a ton of pressure in that area. I ended up playing throughout the day. I ended up winning all the way through, so I made the finals for singles on Thursday for Sunday, right? And then woke up for mixed. Woke up Friday morning. I was so stiff. I got dry needling on my hamstring Monday morning. I was like cold plunging. I was doing a bunch of treatment. Played all day Friday. Made the finals on Friday as well. Made the finals on Saturday as well. So come Sunday, I'm in 3 finals. I got a fully blown hamstring, and I've just found a freaking way to gut it out all weekend.
Did you know at that point you had the blown hamstring, or was it still like hypothesizing?
After I got hurt very first match in singles on Thursday, I had a pretty good idea something was very wrong back there, right? Yeah. But just that inner wrestler, that inner dog, like that young self of like suffering in the wrestling room and putting on the sweatsuit and having my dad put me in a sauna, and I'm trying to get out of the sauna and he's holding the door down. Just all that stuff, like
so character building.
Oh, it's freaking character building. And in that moment when I'm like on court and I'm crying and I'm hurt and I'm looking at my wife Thursday morning, I'm like, this is not the end. Like, I came down here to freaking put on a show, find my best stuff. Like, I'm gonna find a way to get it done, right? So I just kept that same mentality all weekend. And Sunday, honestly, like played out of my head. Ended up winning men's doubles in like 2 hours over like 5 games. It was like this super long, drawn out match. Won mixed doubles, same thing, 5 games, 2 hours, super long, drawn out match. Then ended up losing in singles later, and then got an MRI Monday morning and full thickness tear of my high hamstring. And so yeah, just I swear that inner dog, that like inner wrestler, and like having my dad in my corner growing up, I feel like, yeah, it's made me into the man that I am today. And if I get put in tough moments like that where I'm uncomfortable or I'm second guessing myself, I can trust that like I can find a way to kind of dog it out.
I love to say that. You gotta know you can do hard things.
Yeah, right.
Just know you can get through
being comfortable with the uncomfortableness. I mean, it goes a long ways in life.
It does. Why didn't you keep wrestling? And how long did you wrestle for?
Oh gosh, Miesha. So I started wrestling at the age of 5. Did freestyle, Greco. Dad took us everywhere.
You grew up in Lake
I
Chelan?
grew up in Lake Chelan. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Washington.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So we're both from Washington. if
Both from
listeners- yeah.
Washington. So grew up. So my dad was an orchardist. So my dad grew apples and cherries. So grew up in like an apple orchard. My mom owned a restaurant. Grew up youngest of 7, and my dad coached. He was like the high school wrestling coach for like 30 years. But you'll love this story. So growing up from Chelan, like my dad would drive everywhere, right? Pocatello, Idaho, 9 hours away. Butte, Montana, just and anyhow, his deal was that every 200 miles on the freeway, he would make all the kids get out and like run a mile, right? And if we didn't run, and so we're on the freeway and like the side lane, right? Fucking semis are blowing past us, and my dad is in front of us driving. He would drive a mile. If we didn't run the mile fast enough, he would get to the mile marker. We'd all get to the van. He'd lock the van and then just take off again. I kid you not.
No way.
I kid you not.
On the highway?
Tough love, girl.
Wow.
That's what
I
we
love it.
did. If your name was McGuffin, I mean, you were freaking bound to suffer and wrestle and find a way to get it done.
That's so good.
But yeah, so did all the, junior wrestling, was on schoolboy dual team when I was 12. So I loved wrestling growing up. And obviously I had like my idol, my oldest brother, Jay, who wrestled in college and all that. And then, yeah, like, I don't know, I think the whole father-son coaching thing was a little tough. And my dad wanted me to live out this dream like my oldest brother. When I found tennis at the age of like, I think it was 12 or 13, right then and there, I'm like, oh my gosh, like this is something different. I don't have dad in my ear anymore. It seems healthy. I don't have to suffer and cut weight anymore. I'm living my own dream. This is what I want to do. So not gonna lie, I probably, like, once I found tennis, I was full-blown tennis. I spent junior high and high school just wrestling for my dad, just to kind of make him happy. But I loved it growing up. I loved all that. And I loved the suffering and loved the whole mentality behind wrestlers. And wrestlers have a couple screws loose and they're just tough as nails. And I love all that. And I swallowed all that down. I feel like that's still with me today. But yeah, I don't know. Just from like a performance standpoint, like when I found tennis, I was like, I don't know. It was just something new, right? And it was my thing, and it wasn't my dad's thing, and it was healthier that like I didn't have dad coaching me all the time. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
So throughout high school, basically, I wrestled and played tennis. And funny story. So senior year. Freshman, sophomore year, I wrestled and played tennis. I made it to state every year in wrestling, but I was kind of I wasn't half-assed. I just, like, my heart wasn't in it. I wasn't super passionate. I was simply just putting on a show just to keep my dad happy, right?
Yep.
I ended up winning state tennis my junior year. I took like second my sophomore year. Anyhow, so junior year came around, and I told my dad, I'm like, hey, like I want to go full-time tennis. Broke his heart. My parents had no money, and luckily...
tennis is an expensive sport.
It's very expensive,
Yeah.
yes. I grew up the first couple years of playing tennis literally just watching videos, just consuming content, trying to figure out different techniques because my parents didn't have enough money for me to take lessons. And then I would like hit against a wall, but I just kind of found a way to like figure this thing out, you know? And then like I think 8th grade, freshman year, started taking lessons. And anyhow, like come sophomore year in like the Pacific Northwest, I was like a top 10 player, right? And boys 14s, right? So anyhow, there was an academy in Texas called John Newcomb's. So come junior year, I got a scholarship to go to this like boarding academy and play tennis. So that was the first glimpse of like full-time tennis. There wasn't any pickleball. I was a boarding student there. I was doing online schooling. It was like schooling in the morning, schooling at night. We'd wake up at 5 a.m. and do fitness. Fitness was from like 5 to 6. School was from like 6 to 8. We do drills in the morning for tennis from like, I don't know, 9 to noon, lunch, come back and play matches from 1 to 4. School at night, wake up and do it all over again. So there was like 100 boarding students there, kids from all over the world, and some of the best coaches in the world. And anyhow, so I ended up coming back for my junior year of high school tennis, won my first state title for Lake Chelan High School. And then going into senior year, I told my dad, I'm like, hey, I'm not going to wrestle. I'm just going to play tennis. Like, I'm getting some scholarships to play tennis in college, so I don't think wrestling is gonna happen, right? So I kid you not. And so right before the school year, my oldest brother Jay just left Central because he was coaching at Central, right?
Yep.
And moved back to Chelan, worked at the school, and ended up taking over the high school coaching job for wrestling. So my dad was always the head coach, right? So my dad ends up dropping down to the assistant role, and my brother is the head coach. Senior year, right? I'm done wrestling. So my brother, for the first 2 months of the year, because wrestling doesn't start till like November, right? So the first couple months of the year, or the first couple months of the school year, he's bugging me to wrestle, right? Finally, we just get to a point where I'm like, okay, you know what? Fuck it. Okay, I will do it for you and Dad. Last year, I'm the last McGuffin, and so like the goal senior year after they won me over was to win state in wrestling and to win state in tennis, right? So I remember like senior year wrestling. My oldest brother, Jay, who wrestled in college, just a total savage. And actually, Jay would have been the first 4-time state champion in the state of Washington. So he won it his freshman, sophomore, junior year at Kashmir High School, small little 1A high school south of Chelan. And then senior year, my dad was such a nut. My dad felt like he didn't have any competition. And my dad probably didn't want Jay to have a level of like entitlement, I think. So my dad sent Jay to Calvary Chapel. It's like the best wrestling school in California, 6A Catholic school, right? So Jay ends up going there, ends up losing in like double overtime in the semis, and takes third his senior year. But
In California?
California, correct.
Yeah, that's a big. I mean, that's
for sure.
Yeah.
So Jay was a total stud, right? So anyhow, so
Yeah.
back to my senior year. So Jay comes back. Influences me to wrestle my senior year. And I kid you not, those 3 months of having my brother as my head coach, he made sure every day to make sure that like he was my practice partner during high school practice. He would also like get me up early, and we'd practice from like 6 to 7:30 at the high school. I'd go to school all day, and then high school practice was from like 4 to 6. So I'm not gonna lie, those 3 months of my senior year was so suffering. I was not ready for it. I was so done wrestling at that point. But my dad and my brother won me over, and my brother kicked the shit out of me all season long. Made me a tough motherfucker. But in those 3 months, I kid you not, there was so much head pressure. Like he would always push on my head and keep my head down. So I remember like hyperventilating in practice numerous times, just trying to grasp air. Just like like I had nothing left in the gas tank. Jay's pushing me like to the ultimate. And I don't know. I just remember there's even though it was so suffering and it was such a pain in the ass at the time, I got so much out of that, doing it for them and just toughening up and doing something that I didn't want to do again. But after the season, like it drew me closer to my dad. It drew me closer to my brother. It was memories we'll always have. I was the last McGuffin,
Yeah.
So I ended up taking third at state my senior year. And then one state in tennis, but so that's my little high school wrestling story. Yeah, wasn't really in it, but
Yeah.
like got so many benefits from just gutting it out and doing it, and I think just like the man that I am today is highly due to just like the wrestling background
There's
and like the character.
a ton of value in that.
Totally.
Knowing that you can just get through the hardest times. I remember for me in wrestling, it was quite the opposite. I didn't have the family support necessarily. My dad didn't even know that I was wrestling probably for about the first season.
Okay.
Because my mom kind of wanted to keep it a secret. She knew that he wasn't going to love the idea. And then my mom would go to as many matches as she could go to because she worked and, all the things. But, and even from the team and stuff, I didn't have anybody who was invested in me. As a matter of fact, I think they wanted me to quit, at first.
Okay.
And like, oh, that's not cut out for girls. Like, wait till she gets the memo, And they just kicked my ass.
How many girls were wrestling at that time?
Like 0.
I was going to say, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
0.
girls wrestling now is blossomed. It's skyrocketed.
Yeah.
But I can only imagine like when you were in high
No,
school.
at that time, it was my best friend at the time, Sharon, and I. We went out for wrestling together. So
you and Sharon.
I was one of 2.
Okay.
And we were the only girls, and there was no other girls on the wrestling team at that time. I think there had been one girl or two, one maybe that had come before us a few years before, but I wasn't aware of her. I didn't even go to school with her. So anyway, she was really ahead of the time.
And you went to high school in Tacoma, correct?
Yeah, Franklin Pierce High School.
Okay, Franklin Pierce.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I'll tell you what.
4A, 3A, 2A?
4A.
4A, okay. Big school.
So it was a big school. And I just remember, going out and not knowing what to expect at all and being so terrible, but drawn to it.
Okay.
For whatever reason, I just loved it. Unlike basketball and unlike the other things, I was totally invested
in it. Yeah,
I was in it. I just couldn't wait all year till wrestling season to come around. Because
That's
it's
awesome.
like, it's like when you get through those practices that you don't think you're going to make it through. you know?
For
I mean,
sure.
it's just like,
It's
it just
It's pretty
teaches you
eye-opening.
something.
It does.
It does. Yeah.
Every practice is a lesson, you know.
Yeah,
Just like
absolutely.
just like every loss, you know.
Yeah.
Every loss is a lesson.
So tell me a little bit more about pickleballs. Like, is it really for everybody? Like, can
Oh
anybody really
man,
do this?
it literally it caters to everybody, all demographics, all walks of life. Like I was mentioning earlier, so many health benefits. You get this community effect, easy entry. You know, it doesn't cost a lot to play. There's a ton of outdoor permanent courts at like parks and stuff like that. I mean, Vegas has so many freaking outdoor pickleball courts. But yeah, just a great game, you know. I mean,
Your
like,
kids play?
so we have four. We have four kids. 18 is our oldest. That's Sky. So Sky's from my wife's previous. I have an 11-year-old from my previous. His name's Ty. And then Banks and Mac. We thought we'd start all over again, you know. And so we have Banks and Mac who are 4 and 3. The kids all play. Yes, our oldest Sky, special needs. So he's got this thing called Smith McGuinness. So kids that are autistic have an extra piece of chromosome. He's missing a piece of chromosome.
Okay.
But my wife is such a freaking boss. Like, I didn't come into Sky's life until Sky was like 11. So early on, she got all the right help. And so just his like development now, and he's leaps and bounds above most kids that have the same syndrome, you know? But yeah, he's high functioning. He's just a walking highlight reel. Honestly, like, like within 2 minutes of meeting Scott, he's gonna ask you about 300 questions. He wants to get to know your story, where you came from, siblings, food, colors, all that. Right? He's just super curious. So anyhow, so Sky just graduated high school. He's probably going to stay in high school for a couple more years. I think we're going to do like half in the community where he'll like have a job and then half at school.
Yeah.
So we're just trying to kind of figure out his exit plan right now. But main thing for him is just like keeping him on the right path and making sure there's no like behavior issues and just setting like the right atmosphere and things like that. Our 11-year-old from my previous Ty, he's like a spitting version of me. You know, likes to wear chains, likes to get the haircut, loves sports. It was so funny. I was telling somebody this a couple days ago. Just kids are so fearless. Like, I remember like when I was 11, I was scared of everything. Like, and I wasn't bold at all. Like, in Ty, it's so funny. Like, he's 11 and he travels with us, and we were flying, no flex by any means, but we're flying first class like last week. Right. And I'm playing a tournament, Bristol, Tennessee.
My daughter's been begging me to fly first class.
Oh,
to experience it.
Once you get a taste, it's tough to go back. You know?
I know. That's why I don't want her to
No,
experience
don't,
it yet. Because I'm like, you're 7, girl.
Our kids are
You gotta
spoiled.
wait a
Right.
little bit until you get to experience that, because you're not gonna want to go back.
Right. But yeah, Ty just randomly just sparks a conversation with somebody sitting in first class, or like I'll drop Ty off at a park to play pickleball in Coeur d'Alene, and there's 50 people there on 20 courts, and there's like this whole paddle stack system where if your paddle is in the front 4, then you're gonna go out on a court, and he'll just randomly just like, well, I'll drop him off. He can hang out for a couple hours and just meet a bunch of people and play pickleball, and just funny, like he's just. It's like you always want your kids to be a much better version of you, right?
Oh yeah.
And Ty's such a better version of me. It's great. But
Well,
yeah,
you're doing it right then.
Right? But you know, honestly, Ty loves sports, loves to compete. I mean, he's such a competitor. He'll like change the rules. He'll make bad line calls. He'll do whatever it takes for a freaking W, right? And then our daughter Banks, she's such an angel. Honestly, I've told this story way too many times. But if I had more than one girl, I would be like a stay-at-home dad. I kid you not.
That's the best.
Luckily, I have 3 boys and 1 girl, because I don't know. Like, I can say no to my boys. I can discipline my boys. I can be a dad to my boys. With her, I feel like I'm like a best friend, and I shouldn't play that role, right? But it's just so tough to say no to her. She runs me like there's
She's
no
the
fucking tomorrow.
sweetest.
Oh, she's an angel. Honestly, she's an
my
angel.
daughter's the same. She's the
She's an
sweetest.
angel.
And my daughter's 7, and my son
Okay.
is 5.
Yeah.
And my son is the one that, he's just got a different way about it, and I don't quite understand him. Like, my daughter, I can always reason with. I can talk to her. She's very, intellectual, and
Right.
she just understands things.
Right.
I feel like in a way that I understand things. I think we're
Okay.
the same. But with my son, it's not. I recently was like, they just at my wits' end, because I'm just like, this boy. I mean, he's like my
Boys are crazy.
heart. Like, I love him
Right.
I love him to death, but I also just want to like wring his neck half the time, because I'm like, I can't just get through to you. Like, you're so like, we lock horns,
Okay.
and it's just like, oh,
Locking
like, we're
horns isn't a good thing, you know?
it's so
Is
frustrating.
he just
So,
squirrely?
he's squirrely, but he's also, he's like you said, very outgoing, and he speaks his mind, and he's
Okay.
he's like, not very much of a people pleaser, which I'm okay with in the long run. He's going to know what he wants. He's going to speak up for what
sure.
he wants.
Right,
He's not going to people please. My daughter will definitely probably have some things she'll have to overcome because she'll probably say yes when she should say no, or she's just sweet and she wants to make everybody happy and she wants to make and that's so nice to parent. But at the same time, like I want to make sure that she still has her voice and she knows who she is. And she's independent and all those things. So I think parenting a child who is sort of people pleaser is a little bit easier. My son is not.
Right.
He's gonna tell you, basically double bird you and be like, no, it's not a good idea. Like sometimes I just want to be like, I'm your mother. Like I have to explain this. Like you have to listen to me.
Right.
It doesn't make sense to him.
And every kid is so different, right?
So different. We made a little because he just started what would be kindergarten. He goes to an Apogee, which is, we register them as homeschoolers and they focus on like a Socratic method. And it's so cool and I love it. It's kind of each kid on their own time, learner driven. Okay. So, but we made.
Do they miss the social stuff or no?
What do you mean?
Just
stuff?
going to school and like the whole social scene. Do they miss any of that?
Well, they go to a school. We register them as homeschool. I don't teach them because I'm too busy and all the other things I have going on. But so they go and it's like a micro school. So they have like 20 learners per guy. They use different terminology.
Teacher-student ratio.
Yeah, it's better. And they do
brilliant.
like a lot more about, so think like a Montessori or Waldorf if you looked into those.
Right.
Except
carve your own path.
Yes. So it's very much like that, except it's also more physical. I don't know how to explain it, but it feels like the good part of like what you'd want somebody like American, like what you would want in like that good part. It's like have respect for your country and your flag and like make it a better place.
Almost like a mini boot camp to a certain degree.
Yeah, cool. Like they work out an hour every single day. They're outside all the time. Yeah. They're creative. And I love it. So anyway, so we made him, a kindergarten board. I think we did the same thing for Maya. So I always try to, I don't want them to look back on pictures and be like, Mom, I was the second kid. Did you just forget about me? So we made this little thing and I wrote with, the dry erase things and, and he had to answer all the questions, so we weighed him. We said how tall he is, things. What's your favorite, what do you want to be when you grow up? He's like Sonic the Hedgehog. Sonic, of course.
Who doesn't?
What's your favorite movie? Sonic. What's your favorite sport? He said pickleball.
Oh, really?
Yes, and I was not expecting that because he goes with Dad sometimes to the pickleball courts. And it's been like a handful of times. I mean, he's played Little League. He's done soccer. He's done gymnastics. He's done wrestling. He's in jiu-jitsu right now.
And he's liking pickle?
He likes pickle.
Okay.
He likes pickleball.
Love to hear that.
Yeah, it's so cute. But at 5, like, is that something like...
there's... it's so right now, it seems like a good majority of the players all came from tennis. But there's going to be this new wave of like raw pickleball players with no tennis background, right? And we're already starting to see it on the pro tour a little bit. The sport's getting younger, it's getting faster, it's blowing up at a rapid rate. Right after, so there's a family called the Pardo family that started the PPA tour. That's like made it a reality for pros to make a good living playing, right? And started like a professional tour, and that was I think right before COVID. Anyhow, so after COVID, there was a billionaire by the name of Tom Dundon. He owns the Carolina Hurricanes. He just bought the Portland Trailblazers. He's a huge pickleball advocate. He ended up buying the tour and really like made it pretty realistic for pros to make a good living playing, and brought in a bunch of resources and brands.
How did that change like the financials?
So it put some more green in my pocket, that's for sure.
Good.
I mean, to think about like where I started in pickleball in 2016, because like the tour really didn't start till like 2020, right? So from like 2016 to 2019, I'm playing 10, 12 tournaments a year, no prize money. I'm still working like an 8 to 5 job as like a director of tennis and pickleball. I would crank out like 40-hour weeks Monday through Thursday. I'd fly out Thursday night, go to a tournament, like play Friday through Sunday, fly home Sunday night, get my ass back at work Monday morning. Did that for a couple years. But I just had plenty of like passion and fire to compete and play. And even though there wasn't a whole lot of money, I just knew there was going to be something that came out of it, right? And so I played 2 years of junior college tennis. And after 2 years of junior college tennis, I thought about going pro in tennis. But like if you don't start playing tennis in diapers, like there's no way you can play professionally. Like it's just a game of catch up, right? So I knew I couldn't go pro in tennis. I mean, I could hang with guys like top 1,000 in the world, but if you're top 1,000 in the world in tennis, like you're making fucking nothing for money, right? And what's crazy about tennis too is that even if you're like top 100 in tennis, you're barely scraping by. Tennis is so top heavy, you're really only making money if you're like top 25, which is crazy to think because the level is so stupidly high and there's so many layers of the levels. Like top 1,000 is one level, you know, top 600, top 400. But anyhow, so I knew that I couldn't make it playing tennis. And yeah, so just like stayed the course. I had plenty of fire to compete. I couldn't make it in tennis, and it was like this new thing, like this new shiny toy for me, you know. And I was like early on, I was beating guys like top 10 in the country. And anyhow, so I that whole spiel of like 10 to 12 tournaments a year with no prize money and literally just showing up and donating money for like my entry fee. And working like an 8 to 5 as a director, that went on through like the end of, I don't know, 2018 or 2019. And then
so at that point you were just doing it because
it was just a passion project.
Yeah,
I love the sport. I love the people. I love the community.
Right.
I knew there could be a future if I just stayed the course and stayed with it, you know. I was waiting for somebody to come in with a shit ton of money and started to get freaking behind it.
Now let me ask you this: do you think that making money in something that you love to do, like pros and cons, do you feel like it's overall a good thing? Because the reason I ask this is like, it sounds like the dream, right? Everybody,
it's a great question.
Right, everybody wants to find what they love to do and then make money at it.
Right.
But sometimes when you add the money, it also turns it into something you don't love to do anymore.
Of course. No. I think you definitely hit the nail on the head. So I mean, for me, pickleball is a bonus. My wife, my kids, what we've built, all that, so much more, right? But in the same sense, pickleball pays the bills, right? And that's all I fucking do. I travel the 35 weeks out of the year, literally grinding. So I'm blessed. I'm thankful. The sport's done so much for me. I've tried to give back in so many ways as well, just because the sport really has made me into the man that I am today. But does money get in the way of my passion for the sport? Is that what you're asking?
Basically.
Yes, for sure.
I mean, I think that's. I'm so glad you could be honest.
No, totally. I'm fighting this battle right now, and my wife hates when I bring this up. I'm 35. My body the last 5 years has been so trash. Like tennis elbow, golf elbow, PRP injections, both sides, plantar fasciitis in both feet, snapped both tendons, blew my hamstring down in Australia. Just countless things.
Yeah, because when you're passionate about it, any normal person would be like, I need some time off. You know, it's like I need to take a break, or I'm gonna take a month off. But like when you begin to rely on it in a different sense, where it's like has this monetary value, and you've got to do it, and you've got to compete, then
it's tough to see the fun in it.
Sometimes, at times, it can be. It's like it's ebb and flow.
For sure. So I love winning. I mean, obviously most athletes do, right?
Yes.
So, yeah, like I don't know. I'm financially really taken care of, and I'm in a good spot mentally, and I have a beautiful family. So like, I'm just blessed and thankful with what we have. But in the same sense, like I wouldn't be where I'm at today with a couple screws loose, and just the idea that like I'd love to win, and I'll fucking do whatever it takes to win, and I'll push my body to certain levels that I probably shouldn't, just to get my body there so I'm ready, you know. Yeah, it's a great question. I'm fighting this battle right now where I've been like, my body's been so trash over the last 5 years, and I'm like, I don't know, I have 4 kids. I was number 1 in the world in men's doubles and men's doubles and men's singles. Ever since I started playing, I've always been like a top 10 guy. I'm just now kind of slipping out of that. I mean, I'm still like a top 15 guy, but just when you've reached the top and you can get a little taste of that, and then you're getting a little older and you're still in the sport and you're hanging on, but there's still money there. It's a fucking tough one to swallow. Honestly, like I'm trying to figure out what's most important right now. Prime example, like yesterday, I had practice, right? I practice 2 hours in the morning, 2 hours in the afternoon. I just practiced like shit. Like nothing really went right. I'm missing like routine stuff. I'm like downing, you know, I'm like second guessing myself. And then I come back to the hotel room. Meg and I went to a show last night, and I'm like just down the whole night. And we had a discussion after the show, and we're like, you know, like, I don't know, just what's most important. Like, I have to keep the little wins front and center, like how good my family is, how I have a bunch of brand endorsements, how I have my camp business, how I've built a freaking empire in this pickleball industry. And I get so focused on the wins and losses and like the rankings and the pressure, and it's that whole balance is so tough, honestly. And then to be a dad as well. I mean, I kid you not. No, I've done a handful of psychedelic journeys to find, to find this inner peace, to have this inner healing, to find a better version of myself, to have better life, or to have a better balance in life as like business person, athlete, and dad. I think that the toughest part about being an athlete is when you've been there, you've had the belt, I've been number one, and then you're not there anymore, but you're still kind of hanging on, right? It's a fucking tough one.
It is so
Tell
weird.
me how you do it, please.
I've been in those shoes for a little while now, and it's like, what is it that I want? I try to simplify those things. What is it that I want? And keeping that attitude of gratitude. I mean, honestly,
necessary, right?
You have to. I feel like that's one of the best lifts that you can do is the reframe.
For sure.
Look at your life again through a different lens. Yep. You wake up in the morning and you stress and you got to do this and you got to do it. You gotta. But what do you get to? What do you get to do? What do you get to be grateful for? What do you get to? And just that little reframe can just change the way that you feel about the exact same situation, right? So for me, it's those reframes. It's the gratitude. It's just being grateful for the experiences that I've had and not putting so much value on the outcome of something and putting more value into the effort that goes into something. And
focus on the process over the result. A bit, right.
Absolutely. And trying to do that, so of course it's always easier said than done. But I think through my psychedelic journeys and through my sports counseling and through the things that I've worked through, it's like that has been so much more fulfilling to me than anything else, because each win is like a dopamine hit. For sure. Which feels great in the moment. But really at the end, it doesn't mean very much. I mean, it's great to say that I was the UFC world champion. That's great. But I already know someday when I'm old lady and I'm on my deathbed, it will not be the thing that I'm like the most grateful for in my life. Not even close. I don't even know if it'll be top 10. I mean, it maybe the experiences that I drew from it and those learning things. But I mean,
so true.
Those people are not going to remember me. Those people, though, it's just, I have so much more value in who I am as Miesha, as the mother, as a wife, as, my homesteading, all those things. It's like, that's the real value, right? That's what fills my cup.
Yeah, and it's funny how when you're practicing and you're in performance or you're in your craft, how you get so small-minded, like you get so focused, on like the result or like what's going to happen or wins or losses. And something I noticed after my spiritual psychedelic journey, which was 3 days of just total madness, if you know what I mean, was that there's so many things in front of me that I never saw. I was so blind because I was so tunnel vision and I was so small-minded. I was so focused on one thing versus like being cerebral and seeing everything and seeing that I have a beautiful family and we've made good money and I've given so much back to the sport and in order to see all that, I was so surface-like, right? And there was some abuse and some things that took place with me growing up, and I never really loved myself because I didn't really know how with all that stuff, and I couldn't trust some of my family members, and so I was able to go through all that on my journey and kind of figure out who I was. In order for me to love people more, I have to love myself. If I don't love myself, there's no fucking way I can love anybody else. It's pretty simple.
You can only meet them as far as you've met yourself.
Right, but like the biggest conk on the head after day 3 was like, oh my God, I'm so blind. There's so many great things in front of me. I have to have gratitude. I have to set my tone every morning the right way, like praying, writing down things I'm grateful for, meditation, hot and cold therapy, and just start the day winning,
Yes.
And I've always been so physical with taking care of myself, or I've never done a whole lot of inner healing. It's always going to the gym or doing hot yoga or going to practice, right? And so I never focused on the real me or what's going on inside, because I think I was just scared with what had kind of transpired when I was a kid, and just I didn't really know the real me, or I was scared to kind of dive in, and it's just crazy what psychedelics can do and how they can open all that stuff up.
They open the floodgates.
Holy shit! I'll tell you what. That was beautiful. I got.
Did you go on a retreat?
Long story short, yes. So I have a therapist that I've been using for a while. He's a ketamine assisted therapist. His name's Ben Askins. I work with a health team called Wild Health. Okay. So essentially, I'm sure you've done some of this. They run my blood work every year based off my blood work or based off my DNA. They prescribe me the right, peptides, supplements, exercise program, all that stuff, right? And they have a wide range of different resources that work for Wild Health, doctors and nutritionists and all this stuff. And then they do a full body MRI. Well, I was able to meet Ben. Ben was one of their therapists, so I've been working with Ben for the last couple of years. But yeah, I talk to Ben twice a week. Dump all my nonsense on Ben, and I think it's nice to have somebody to talk to. I've always been so closed off for the longest time because I think I was scared to like dive in, you know. And so I've been with Wild Health for 4 years. So I've been working with Ben for the last couple of years. And I guess after like 2 years of over the phone therapy with Ben, it kind of got to a point where he's like, hey, like you should come to my house and we'll do like a little retreat. And so I went to Ben's and we did a handful of ketamine doses. And I got so much benefit out of it.
Did you do psilocybin?
Did not do psilocybin there. I've done other journeys with psilocybin.
What about ayahuasca?
Never done ayahuasca. Never done the toad. I would love to. It scares me a little bit.
Yeah.
Right.
I feel you too.
I mean, some of those stories.
I
mean,
know.
it and what it sounds like you basically die and you come back, and I just don't know if I can swallow that.
Ooh,
like,
yeah,
right? Like, well,
yeah.
and I'm sure not every journey is the same, but anyhow, I was just through the ketamine, through some of the psilocybin that I've taken, I was able to like find a better version of me, find a better balance in life of like, you know, business, athlete, and dad. It made me slow down in life. I think like I've always been pretty high strung and like pretty fast and didn't really wasn't all that thoughtful. Everything just came very quickly, and so it just made me like look within and slow down in life. And this is kind of strange, but on my journey, when I was out of my body and totally on one, there was this like Indian chant that was like taking place over me, right? And it was super soft. And so when I came out of my journey, I talked to my shaman, and I'm like, yeah. So there was this whisper and this like chant over my head. Do you know what this is? And he's like, I've heard that plenty. And he's like, it's an Indian chant, and it means hear the whispers, not the screams. Meaning, if you don't listen to like small details in life, it's going to lead to something bigger. And that's just me to a T. Like I've been a talker my whole life. I'm a pretty shitty listener. There's way too much going on upstairs. And so just on that journey, just help me be a better listener, help me be less reactive, help me slow down. Something my therapist, Ben, and I talk about is just using a drop step. You know, instead of like if my wife like presents a problem, don't fucking fix it, right? I've always wanted to be the fixer, right?
Yep.
Right? And she doesn't need that.
Yep.
She just needs me to listen, right?
Yep.
That's all she needs. Take a little step back, put my hands up, and just let her know.
less.
And let her know I am there to listen. I'm not going to fix anything. Anyhow, so just I got so many benefits out of it. Like found my spirit animal. Like my spirit animal was like half lion, half my wife. It showed me I have to have like qualities as like a lion, but also in the same sense, there's so many qualities in my wife that I love. But I think I was too ego driven to like really accept, which is, I don't know, it's kind of strange, but anyhow, there was like so many qualities in her that I loved, that I wanted, but I was too surface like to like, I guess, hang on to. And so it just showed me like I need to like obviously like be a rock star as like a lion and be tough and be a business person and keep that same inner wrestler, but in the same sense, I need to slow down in life and be a little softer and be less reactive and be a bit more vulnerable and let people in and you know, and put the freaking guard down. You know, it's not worth it.
It's not worth it. It's so much energy.
There's so much. It's just a waste. Right?
Dr. Gabor-Mate is the trauma specialist, and I check him out quite a bit on the show because I'm just a big fan of his. But he talks about trauma being like a beach ball that you're trying to keep under the water. You know, like imagine like, you know, trying to literally hold a beach ball, just how exhausting it is, you know, just to keep that in that position and compartmentalize or never unpack it. Just keep it there, tuck it down deep. It's like, that's it. It's literally, it's soul sucking.
Right.
Yeah, soul sucking. So
tell me about your journey.
Oh, my plant. So I did one plant medicine journey and one ketamine journey.
Okay.
I don't know if that technically falls under the same umbrella, but but ketamine was intravenous, and that was not really. I didn't unpack very much there. I just realized that there's different like dimensions to where we are and where we can be. So there's different levels of I guess connectedness. But I think it was too strong for me. That's what I think. I'm no doctor, but it was intravenous, and I just feel like I became piece of the fiber in my couch cushion, and I was energy like going through wires and stuff like that, or moving. But I kept looping to where like I didn't know if the life that I actually had with my kids and my fiance was for sure real anymore. Like I didn't know that anymore, and it was kind of scary. But so I couldn't really hold a thought. I just felt like I was like energy moving.
Okay.
Quickly
but it was tough
through
to grasp
things.
anything.
But I couldn't grasp anything. I couldn't focus. I couldn't feel myself anymore. I definitely couldn't open my eyes.
Well, the ketamine journey is much faster than like a mushroom journey, right? I mean,
Yeah.
Ketamine is 20 minutes and you're floating around in the matrix and you're trying to like, keep what you need front and center and see certain things or see certain symbols that can like resonate for you. But it all takes place very fast.
Yes.
Right? Where mushrooms, I feel like it's slowed down. It's like in slow-mo.
Yeah. I was
right?
like, I think I needed the slow-mo because, that was my first experience. Was
I feel the
mushrooms.
exact same way. I got more out of the psilocybin than I did the ketamine.
Yeah. So I feel like, what do you feel like are some of your best lifts? Like, when I say that is like, what are things that you do on a daily basis or a semi-regular basis? Or what are the things that have really propelled you to grow and become, a better version of yourself?
Yeah, I think after my journey, just being vulnerable and like allowing people in, being a better listener, and just I started collecting information at a much different rate than like I used to,
Yeah. So you think like doing the plant medicine was a great lift for you?
It just slowed me down, right?
Yeah.
Slowed me down and helped with the ego death, and made me a better dad, made me less about me, made me more about the kids. But I think too, like I was a total bozo in high school. Like I barely made it through high school. I was basically just there to chase girls and to play sports and to kind of be a bad kid. And so I didn't grow up the right way or learning the right way, so I think, I think, after my journey, I just surrounded myself with better people. I got educated people around me. And I feel like I've learned so much since my journey just by surrounding myself with the right people. Like Ben Greenfield has been like a big mentor of mine.
Yeah, he's great.
I
had Ben on the show.
Yeah, of course. Ben is a machine.
Yeah.
So I think, just having good people in my corner, being more open, knowing that like, and it's so exhausting. I used to always think I had to do it myself, which is so stupid. There's so many high qualified people out there that want to help, and so I think that was a big thing taken off my plate, was that I could trust people and I could bring people in but yeah, I think and then also too, I've tried to do everything right, like diet, peptides, take all the supplements, high in protein. Just went to the Bahamas. I got full body stem cells. I got 100 million stem cells floating in me right now, and they just started to kick in.
Ooh, yes.
which is pretty sweet. So I've just tried to be a good role model for my kids. I've tried to do everything right. Leading into tournaments, like the way that I gain confidence is by telling myself, hey, if I work my ass off, if I'm eating the right way, if I wake up early, if I'm suffering, if I'm working harder than everybody else, I should expect, a good outcome come tournament time.
Yeah. What are the other little things that you like to do that kind of help propel your wellness? You ice bath, you sauna, regularly?
I throw the whole sink at it.
Okay.
So hyperbaric, hot and cold in the morning.
Do you have a chamber at your house?
I kind of want to, but I just can't fork up like 50 grand right now. We're actually building 2 indoor courts in our backyard right now. Okay. We're on 5 acres in Coeur d'Alene. If you ever come to Coeur d'Alene, please, you can come to the house and play some pickleball. I'll give you a lesson.
I hit up Ben in Spokane and you. And
boom. I have a podcast studio at the house as well. You can jump on my pod.
Yeah, you and your wife are so cute on that, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
I love how. Like, I don't think Johnny and I would do that well. Like, we wouldn't.
You
guys are cute. And
well,
I'm like,
it's
like, it's endearing. And I was like, I just don't think that would work for everybody. It wouldn't work for Johnny and I. I would probably step on him too much.
It takes this like skill set. And like the podcast has shown me that I don't know, like my wife, she's not super open. She's probably more shy than me. And so, like early on, I think she had a hard time finding her voice. And then just over time, she got a lot more comfortable. But I think early on, I was talking over her too. So I just had to tell myself, like, shut the fuck up. Like, let my wife talk and you don't have to run the show. And I think there's been some qualities of the podcast and just our back and forth that has helped our marriage as well. That makes
Good.
sense.
Yeah,
that makes
a little
sense.
therapy on
Right,
there.
right, honestly, yeah, totally. I know it's helped me probably more than her. Like
Yeah.
just slowing down, letting her speak, like right,
Yeah.
taking my little drop step.
Do you guys have guests?
Yeah,
on?
yeah, for sure. So I have
What's it called?
it's called the
Tyson
McGuffin Show.
McGuffin Show.
Yeah. So I have another guy that leads camps for me. He's like my main camp lead. He's been my coach for a handful of years as well. His name's Kyle McKenzie. Kyle's from Seattle. So we'll talk all things about pickleball, the tour, family. Kyle has 4 kids as well. And then we'll talk about Kyle's stories with like him teaching camps for me. And yeah, just like this full fun picture of like keeping it laid back, complimenting a ton of players on tour. There's a lot of pickleball podcasts where they just kind of like, beat down certain players, and I don't want to bring that whole negative look. And so we just keep ours chipper. It's fun. It's laid back. We talk about family.
Yeah, yours is more lifestyle.
Yeah, for sure. It's
not just about the sport.
Bit more lifestyle, correct? But no, she's lovely on the pod.
She is.
She is.
Okay, so we were on there. Like I got sidetracked with the hyperbaric, but what else? Or even like some non-negotiables. It's like you got to do this, every day or some things.
Right. I like the high intensity PEMF mat.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
PEMF,
pulse electromagnetic field.
Yep, correct. Yep. So on like a given day, right? I'm waking up at 5 a.m. I like to wake up bright and early.
Yeah.
To get my day started.
Is it dark there though at 5 a.m. at some time?
Summertime, no, but wintertime it's nice and dark, right?
Yeah.
And my cold plunge is outside.
You do it at 5 a.m.
And honestly, there's nothing scarier that gives me more anxiety than like when it's snowing and it's cold. And I wake up at 5 a.m. and I get my ass in that plunge and there's nobody up. It's dark. And
talk about winning a battle first thing in the morning. That honestly sounds like my worst nightmare.
Oh, I kid you not. I've had so many times where I'm just standing over my cold plunge and I'm just like debating my life going in there, I kid you not, no. I'll just stand and hover for minutes and then tell myself, don't be a pussy, right?
Yep.
Get your ass in there. So usually I get up, I'll do hot and cold. I'll do, journal work, read a Bible verse, do say some prayers, and then I'll usually practice from like 6 to 8. I'll do hot yoga from like 8 to 9. I'll have a big protein-filled breakfast at 9. I'll take off my supplements afterwards, after breakfast. I'm like with a brand.
Eggs. What are you eating?
Yeah, so we're usually like 3 to 4 eggs with like a steak or chicken. I try to stay away from like sausage and bacon. It's just a little too greasy. And then I'm with a brand called Momentous.
The protein.
Yes. Yeah. So I take all their supplements. So I'm usually doing like a protein shake in the morning. With my electrolytes, I'll do like 2 packets of electrolytes with like 2 scoops of creatine. So I have like my 10 grams of creatine in there. Got my electrolytes. And then directly after breakfast, I'll go work out for like an hour and a half. And then I'll have a big protein-filled lunch. Usually lunch, like my whole diet is pretty much like veggies and protein. Lunch could be a salad with steak. It could be a salad with chicken. It could be a chicken wrap, something like that.
Not much in fruit. Not much in the way of fruit.
I'll have fruit in a little bit. Yeah. With my protein shake, I'll usually add some fruit in there.
Okay.
And then after lunch, I'll try to get like another hour and a half of practice in. Pick the kids up from school at 3. Take them to all their sports. Usually it's like we have our babies in like jiu-jitsu and swim and soccer, gymnastics.
Oh my God, there's nothing cuter than a kid in a gi
moving
around, shrimping on the mat and stuff like that. I see I don't know why it's so cute to me. My son doing a reverse shrimp, which is like, you're basically scooting, you're sitting forward, your feet are forward, and then they're scooting their butt towards their feet and like moving towards their feet across the mat, and he's just like swishing his little feet side to side.
That's too funny.
Like, it's so cute.
That's cute.
Okay.
Pick the kids up from school, take them to sports, come home. I'm the cook in the house. I usually cook dinner, barbecue, have a nice little family meal together. Talk about the best part of our day. Talk about the worst part of our day.
Well, we do that too.
Yes,
I love that.
Yes.
We don't nail it every day, but
we don't nail it every day either.
Yeah, we don't nail it every day, but I definitely have like some designated days of the week in the calendar where it's like that's what we're doing, and then sometimes we're spontaneous and we're able to also get that other nights of the week, and then some days we're on the we're just all going in different directions and it doesn't happen. Which is unfortunate, but.
And then obviously like trying to put a 4 and a 3-year-old down, it's a pain in the ass. So I kid you not. I mean, so I have mastered putting my son Mac down. My wife has somewhat mastered putting Banks down. Banks is much more difficult than Mac. But yeah, we have to lay with them for 20, 30 minutes
and hopefully you
rub
don't
their
fall
back.
asleep.
Oh.
So that you can.
It's countless nights. It's ruined our sex life, because we're both just in bed with our kids.
Yep.
But one thing that my wife was keen on early on was that the kids were never going to sleep in our bed. So we've like never had that, which is nice. We just always end up in their bed. But yeah. So and then I do IVs probably like once a week. I'm doing hyperbaric like 3 days a week. Hot yoga 3 days a week practice. Usually like most of my performance stuff like workout, yoga, and then practice is like 3 to 4 days a week. Back in the day when I was like late 20s, I was probably like 7 days a week. But I'm 35 now, and I'm more so focused on like injury prevention and trying to manage my body and doing a bunch of PT and all that. So I like hyperbaric. I like high intensity PEMF. I take peptides. I take CJC stacked with amphimorelin. I take BPC 157. I take a bunch of natural testosterone stuff just to keep my levels like anywhere from like 600 to 800. Yeah. I listen to my health team. I check in with my health team like every couple months. We do blood work every couple months to make sure that all my stuff lines up.
Do you measure your macros at all? I didn't hear you say any carbs in there.
Really? I put 2 scoops of carboline. So like in my gallon bottle, I'll do my electrolytes. I'll do my creatine. I'll do my colostrum. That's like
maybe it's a cow. Like it's colostrum's like the stuff.
It's like breast milk.
Yeah.
So there's this new powder that I've been using.
Okay. But it's probably cow's colostrum.
I have no idea.
But I would think so.
Good
I don't
stuff.
think there's enough
collagen peptides, and then I'll do 2 scoops of carboline in my water. Okay. So I got all that shit in there.
Okay.
Right, and I just kind of soak on that all day long. But I feel like the peptides have obviously helped. They're like, it's funny, like they said there's going to be testing in pickleball, but nobody's really been tested yet. I don't think anybody's on anything crazy, more so just CJC and BPC. But I see a PT 3 days a week. I do a bunch of dry needling. I do a bunch of like active release. I also get a handful of like massages as well.
Yeah.
But
the whole gamut.
I throw the whole freaking sink at it. I mean, I don't really know what's firing or kicking in.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you what. I got 100 million stem cells through IV at a clinic in the Bahamas called Celco Lab. It's actually at Tiger Woods' golf course, which is pretty cool because I played golf there a couple times. But so that was like the middle of May. So it's been like 14 weeks or something like that. I kid you not, the last 2 weeks, like I had a low back issue. I had like a left shoulder issue. And anyhow, just older and aches and pains and stuff like that. In the last 2 weeks, I swear to God, like there's certain poses in yoga that I've never been able to get into that I have been getting into. There's like added flexibility in my hips. That low back weird thing that was going on probably from way too much golf is not there either. And then it's kind of funny, like this left shoulder, I like sleep on the right side of the bed. My wife's on the left. And so if I'm going to cuddle her, I like, cuddle her with like my left shoulder being up. I swear to God, like I woke up with like frozen shoulder. And I was told by a doctor that it's from the way that I fucking sleep and trying to cuddle my wife, which is so dumb, right? Anyhow, I had all this weird shit going on, right? And I swear the last 2 weeks, I feel like I'm fucking 15 again.
So good.
The stem cells are like kicking in.
Yeah.
I actually just had an appointment today with the gal that gave me the stem cells in the Bahamas and kind of told her my whole story, and yeah, she was super happy. But yeah, it's weird, like added flexibility. I can double the workload. I'm waking up with no soreness. Like my hips, my psoas and QLs have been so banged up for so long.
Yeah.
I feel like there's like added flexibility there. And I feel good.
Stem cells are great. I got stem cells in Austin, Texas at Ways to Well. It's Brigham Bueller's place. Okay. Incredible. It's where Joe Rogan goes.
Okay.
And a lot of, I mean, like, wow.
And it seems like every procedure is different. Like some will give you 50 million, some will give you 200.
Yeah. I don't remember the number.
Okay.
Numbers I can't remember.
Isn't that
no
crazy
matter
to
what.
think about?
No, it is a million. Yeah, it was a lot. It was like a number that was just like you can't quite comprehend.
Right.
Like, what?
It makes no sense.
Yeah, it was so good though. So good.
Yeah. So that I don't know. Like I've been wondering just how much longer I have, and
Are you gonna be okay with hanging it up when you do? Like, I mean, do you
I
think
so
that's gonna be hard?
it's a great question. I know a handful of like ex NFL guys, and the only way they can stay sane is like business, golf, just staying busy, right?
Yeah.
And I think for me, I'll have to stay busy. You know, we're like setting up my empire where when I'm done playing, we'll have some streams coming in,
Yep.
so I should be taken care of. So I'll probably just dive into that. I feel pretty guilty as a dad. Like honestly, like I've just been gone for so long, and I travel so many weeks.
35 weeks a
Yeah,
year.
right. I'm grinding, right? And even
Are your
like
kids with you right now?
just bringing the kids to Vegas is a little tricky, right?
Yeah.
So,
Totally understand that.
yeah, but probably like 90% of the time during the school year, our babies come with us, and then the whole crew comes during the summertime.
Okay.
So, and even like when they're with me on the road, yes, we're in like the same routine, but like I'm so busy, I'm so exhausted. Like I don't have a whole lot left at night, and so I've just never really been able to like give a whole lot
know
back.
what you're saying.
So like when I'm done, like I want to dump as much back into the kids as I can to make me feel better as a human.
Oh my gosh.
You know what I mean?
I've been struggling with this lately too. I mean, I've struggled with it for quite some time, being a mom, and like, how do you do both? And I'm like, realistically, I can't be in a fight camp and be the best mom that I can be. Like I have to. There's no
Try to
doing both at
balance
100%.
that. Right.
You know, it's like something has to give.
Right.
And when I focus on myself and I'm doing 2 trainings a day and I'm doing all the things that you're talking about too. You know, the hyperbarics and the red light and
Right.
the morning sun and the breath work and the cold plunge and the sauna and the late night weight loss, because like that's another thing we have to do is like we have to focus on
I
our
can only imagine
macros and like measuring that, like so measuring all my food. I have to literally measure it. I can't just like go on feel because I have to make sure that I'm going to make a certain weight. So it's this added element of stress and just work that you have to do. And then it's like, okay, well, I need to burn this many more calories, so I need to go on another 30-minute low base thing before my last meal of the day, or I'm up early. And it's like that is hard, especially as the primary parent, which I consider myself, if my kids are having something difficult emotionally, it's like it's mom they're going to turn to.
Of course.
And it's not that dad's not involved. Dad does everything. He does all the great things. He takes them to all the practices and things like that. But it's like if they're sick, it's me.
For sure.
If they need, things, it's me. If it's like what food they eat, that's me. Like I do all the food in the house, and I'm pretty particular about how my kids eat. And so when I have to step away from that, it's a tremendous amount of guilt that I have to work through and process, and constantly tell myself that, hey, this doesn't make me a bad mom. It's just that, these things require this focus. And I'm also, setting an example for my kids that it's okay in times to put yourself first. And I think that's something we also,
it's a good lesson.
Yeah. So we need to remember that and how to put ourselves first in, healthy boundaries and reason. I think, so I was going to say though, is, with my kids and all the things that I have to balance and trying to learn to be present and not walk into my house and see the mess.
Right.
This is like something, right? Okay, because you know what I'm talking about, right? It's like you walk in and the couch is like turned upside, like the pillows are all
that's more
gone.
my wife than me. Like I didn't grow up as a slob, but I'm just not as tidy as her. But whatever you're feeling, that's what she feels when she walks in the house. Well, she feels like she's always drowning in laundry, and the house is dirty, and she wants it to look a certain way. And
right, and then it's like, okay, let me maybe set my expectations differently to where it's like, okay. I left my house this morning, and I'd been thinking about this since yesterday, about how Johnny reacted when he came home and the kids had torn apart the couch. They had built a tent. They built a fort, so all the couch cushions were everywhere.
Why
not? There were toys, there were snacks.
Right.
I mean, there was a wrapper.
It's all there.
And it's just like all within like a half an hour, I swear. It's like incredible what these kids can do in 30 minutes. And we had kind of put it away last night, but I also wanted to have them have some responsibility, so I still had some of it out. And then they decided they were going to double down and they were going to put it all back together this morning. They were going to like redo the fort.
Right.
And my son also ate his breakfast in the fort, so then there was a mess all over the couch cushions.
Right.
Okay, so Johnny walks in, and his first reaction is like, "Hey, look what a mess you guys have made." And I'm like, I'm so guilty of that too, because you walk in and like you see it from your grown-up perspective of like, this is the expectation, is that the house looks this way and it makes you feel better. But I also looked around and I had to say, this is a sign of children that are not being raised on iPads.
It's so true.
This
So
is
true.
what children are
Right,
made to
right.
do, is create
Create a little chaos,
and make and experiment and have fun and play and learn how to balance the pillows and build a better structure that doesn't fall apart. And like, there's so much value in that
Right.
that I don't want to just see the mess.
Right.
I want to be able to see the beauty in that chaos of what they're actually doing and the value in it, even though it's super hard. And I just want to run and get the vacuum.
It's an easier way to swallow it through that lens.
It's a reframe.
Right.
The situation's
Sure.
exactly the same, but I'm looking at it differently, right? And so, but the other question I was saying to myself is like, this circles back to what you were saying, is like, do I even know how to slow down though? Like, do I know how to do less?
Of course, right.
Because right now, I don't think that I do, even though I've been trying to work on this for a very long time. I don't know how to do less. If I have a moment in time where
you have to stay busy,
it's like I don't know how to not do as much.
Where are you at right now with like your UFC career? Are you?
Well, I have
still
one more
training?
fight on my contract. Okay. Yeah, so I've really backed off on the training right now. Like we've closed on a place in Boise, and so we're like in the process of like doing work up there and renovating that, and we're gonna be renting it for a while before we ever decide to move out there. But anyways, that's neither here nor there. So we just have a lot on our plate. We have multiple homes that we're managing. Yeah. We have a lot of things that are going on. I'm still trying to learn and evolve and do this podcast and make it successful and add more to the team. We're talking about YouTube and how you've had all these different things.
Just
and
keep building
the team. Yeah. And so I'm still building, and I'm trying to just make things better and more successful. And I'm always just adding things to the plate. And I'm like,
and it's just busy.
Yes, and I think about that. I'm like, okay, someday when I get up to Boise, I'm just gonna dedicate all my time to the kids.
Right.
Like you just said. But I'm like, but honestly,
how?
do I even know how to do
right,
that? Like, how do I know how to actually slow down? And in moments in time, I can do it. Like for a meal or a shower, I've practiced mindfulness, which has changed my life. That's one of the best lifts that I could recommend is like learning how to breathe and learning how to get mindful, get intentional, be where your feet are in moments in time.
Well, and it's funny too, just how like 2 minutes out of the day, right,
so
of
impactful.
Slowing down,
and
closing your eyes and shutting off your brain. It goes such a long way.
But I start getting,
it seems so simple.
But like I'll try to spend 30 minutes and just be like completely present with my kids, and it's a battle. It is a fight because I don't really know how to do that very well yet. So like, let's say we're out in the pool, right, and the kids are like, let's go swimming, and I'm like, yeah, that's great, let's go swimming. I'm already looking at the leaves on the bottom of the pool and grabbing the, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know how to just do
the
one
pool
thing.
Time.
Like, it's really difficult because I'm such a productive person, which I don't think is a bad thing. But I think I need to find the productivity in doing less.
Right.
I need to find the value in the less is more, and like the value of like what I am doing by just being there, just being present with my kids and fully engaged. Like, I need to really let that sink in, and that's a tremendous amount of value. And there's nothing that I have that is more important than raising these children and giving myself to them in periods of time, 30 minutes, 10 minutes, whatever that is, like just being invested in them.
Right. And good quality time with your kids go a long ways,
Yeah. And it doesn't have to be all day, every day.
It
But
doesn't.
it's like,
it doesn't.
when you do that for that 15 minutes, like, just do it
they,
well.
They appreciate it too.
They appreciate
and
it.
they can see it, and they can see that you're trying and you care, and there's effort there. And no, it goes a long ways. The kids are so smart.
My kids and I, we like to go on these evening walks, and I like to go around sunset because me, my biohacking and wellness. I'm like, well, morning sun and evening sun, it cues their body for sleep, whatever, yada yada. So let's go on these evening walks. Post meal, post dinner, we'll get our blood
family
sugar.
activity.
Fun little family activity. We'll get the blood sugar down. It's healthy, creating memories. So my son calls me on it last night because we hadn't done it the last 2 nights. It was kind of rainy, almost going to rain, thunderstorm, lightning. I was like, we're not doing it tonight. And the night before that, I was just like, it was getting late. It was going to be rushed. Dad doesn't like us to be out past dark. I understand. So I'm like, okay, we're not doing it. And so he called me out on it last night, and he was like, Mom, are we going to do our evening walk? And I'm like, I was like, okay. I was like, yes. I was like, we're going to do it. And we went, and it's just like, it was so beautiful because I love seeing how, dirt stuck together in a clump is so fascinating to them. It's a dirt bomb.
Right.
Like they just throw it and it explodes. And it's like all the things that they
simplest
see.
Things, yeah.
And it's just so present. And it's just, I was like, where did we stop learning to do that? Like, why does it change for us? Like, we're in adults. I think a lot of it has to do with school, if I'm being honest. I think it's a lot of going to school and, like you said,
being in a routine and
yeah, just having to do the things that conform, make
Right.
you conform and not be yourself and not be that individual. You were saying, in high school, you were just interested in all these things. I don't think you're alone in that. And I don't think there's actually really anything wrong with
Right.
you necessarily. You just probably needed to be out like hunting and gathering.
For sure.
Like that's literally probably was in your biology of just
Right.
you being a male, being a
Right.
boy. Like you just endless energy. The last thing that your environment should provide is a seat and like
Right.
sit down for
Right,
6
the
hours
classroom.
and be expected to listen. So
Right.
anyways,
No, it's a very good point.
right. So yeah. Anyways, so getting to work for me and trying to see the value, but this is going to be a big challenge for me. This is not going to be easy, and so I just wanted to like plant that seed a little bit for you too. It's
I'm
like,
trying to figure this thing out.
as you're like, I'm just gonna make up for lost time because like, do you actually know? Like, I don't know I haven't figured that out. Even with my best of intentions, it's like we just think that we're like sometimes gonna just be able to do it, and it's so hard. It's so hard with every intention that I have to just be a present parent at certain times.
Right.
It's like I struggle. I see all the things and the mess in the house.
Right.
It's like, Mom, do you want to play Mommy Monster? This game we play Mommy Monster, and it's
Mommy
just like
Monster.
tickling, the good old tickle times. And
Right.
I'm
That's
like
cute.
every 2 minutes, I'm like putting something away in between all of it. Like walking, I can't not do it. I'm like, oh, this is so hard. It's so fun though. Okay, pickleball.
Yeah.
Let's circle back to it. I want to know. I've never stepped on a pickleball.
What do you
court.
need to know?
Well, like, how do people, like, how should somebody start? Is there anything that you recommend? And like, let's say that somebody's like, they're playing pickleball and they want to take it a little further, because this
Yep.
is a 2-part question.
Okay.
Maybe for someone like me, if I was going to get out there and like, I want to just understand and have some fun and just, I'm looking for things that are more fulfilling for working out.
Of course.
I have not been into working out very much lately. Can I be honest with you? Like,
Okay.
as an athlete, you would think like it's just part of your nature and you're always going to want to do it. And I'm like, I'm so sick of it. I'm sick of lifting weights. I find it boring. I'm over it. I want to do things that are like fulfilling to me. I like hiking, maybe getting into yoga, but pickleball, I'm like, okay, that seems like it would fill my bucket in more ways than just going and lifting heavy things. It's just, I'm so bored of it.
Right, of course. So I've had Cody Stamen.
Yeah.
I've had Puna.
Yeah. Puna.
Yeah, great guy.
So fun.
I've had Cheeto on my podcast. And so I think some of those guys play pickleball. And I know I should know his name, Benavides. I think.
Joseph.
Yeah, Joseph plays a decent amount, right? And
Yeah,
I
he does.
sent Sean Shelby paddles, and I've
Yep.
gone to a handful of fights and all that. Anyhow, so it seems like there's a handful of fighters that are playing pickle.
Yeah.
But I think just early on to get started, there's so many open parks nationwide, right? And the beauty about pickleball compared to tennis, if you want to play tennis, like you have to call your friend, you have to
Can you play
book a
pickleball by
court.
yourself?
So you can literally show up at a park by yourself. There's courts taking place everywhere. And the beauty about pickleball is that even players that have been playing for a while will like take in a beginner and be very like embracive and just say, hey, like, if you want to jump on this court and play with me, that's totally fine. But I can't tell you how many more experienced players take on beginners and just show them the way, right?
Cool.
No, honestly, super cool.
Yeah.
So I think there's like the most inexpensive way is just to show up at like a local park and kind of figure out like what the rec play schedule is. Most parks, it's like 8 to 11 in the morning and then 5 to 8 at night. Those are like the prime time hours. But yeah, like you just have this easy entry into the sport by simply showing up at a park, feeling this whole like community effect, meeting a ton of people, and just playing with a bunch of randos, right? That's how pickleball got big, right? And then over COVID, people couldn't go out of their house, so they started building courts in their backyard. Anyhow, so there's indoor facilities being built everywhere. Like there's a new one here called Chicken and Pickle. There's one called the Pickler. I was just at the
That's
Pickler.
where my son and
Yes.
yeah.
So I was just at the Pickler this morning, getting a little practice in. So somebody that maybe wants to make that next step, I would become a member at like an indoor franchise, and there's a handful of them. Whether it's Chicken and Pickle, it's Pickle, or it's Pickler. There's a place called Pickleball Kingdom. And just to be biased, if you're looking to take your game to the next level, I run camps nationwide. I Also have a YouTube channel called Tyson McGuffin Pickleball with about 300 free educational videos on there. So you can
That's where I need to
swallow up
start.
and you
I
can.
don't think I could just show up and not know anything. Like I gotta watch a few
I
videos
kid you
at
not.
least.
I can't tell you how
like
many
nothing,
people.
Like how embarrassing.
No, and simply just show up. I mean, they
Okay,
can
yes,
they can barely
just show
walk
up.
and
That's-
chew
it's a-
gum
it's a
at
good
the
way to
same
think.
time,
Yeah.
and they're just being vulnerable and being brave
Yeah.
and showing up.
Okay, maybe that'll be good exercise for me. Show up.
But I would watch a couple videos first, just have a general idea on how the game is played,
Okay.
and then you can show up. But yeah, from a bias standpoint, I have a bunch of content on YouTube. I have my own paddle. It's called the Magnus.
excited to see
Yes, it's called the Magnus. I was with a different paddle brand for like the last 9 years. Paddle brand was called Selkirk. They're actually based out of Coeur d'Alene. And then just this last year and a half, I switched to a new paddle company called Yola. And so with Selkirk, I had 2 signature paddles. With Yola, I have a signature paddle. It's called the Magnus. Magnus stands for the most skilled gladiator in the arena. And then also too, if you're looking to take your game to the next level, you need to have the right footwear. And I have Skechers was pretty open and pretty cool with me coming in and really kind of let me like run with the whole design on clothing and shoes and making like a much younger type look for Skechers.
I love Skechers.
Yeah, and honestly, Skechers the last 5 years has just been crushing it. They're like the sneakiest brand, built on comfort. And now they have like Snoop Dogg is like an ambassador. They just made a basketball shoe. They just made a tennis shoe. So now they're like really
Snoop Dogg's everywhere.
Snoop.
Man.
I
He's
mean,
doing
talk
his
about
thing.
a guy who literally has his fingers in everything.
Everything.
I mean, what a freaking legend, and what he's done with this whole platform.
good.
I mean, Shaq, Kevin Hart. I mean, Snoop. I mean, fucking, they can do anything, right?
Yeah,
It's
everything.
crazy.
So good.
But yeah, so I think starting out, just local parks, have some fun. There's endless content on YouTube. And then that next little step would be, just like becoming a member at a club. Finding a good little friend group to kind of play with. And then if you want the best equipment in the game, definitely check out Skechers and check out Yola.
Very cool. Anything else? Like where else? Have you written a book yet? I feel like you need a book.
I should, because I'll tell you what, I've gone through it, and I have a pretty good story to tell. But no, I have not wrote a book yet. I have a pickleball camp business. We have all the content rolling. We have a family vlog that's on my pickleball channel as well. I just came out with a teaching certification, so we're going to start like certifying people to teach pickleball worldwide. We're also like working on some deals in Asia, because Asia's blowing up right now about like licensing my name on like facilities over there.
Let's go.
And I could like certify all the pros at different facilities, and we can run camps there. And I would come in like every 4 or 5 months and like, meet the members. Or if we had like a boarding house and there was juniors like training, I could come and like give out like certificates for like the boarder students and stuff like that. But obviously if my name is on it, just show my face a couple times a year. But yeah, definitely trying to make like this big push in Asia right now. Just be the best human that I can, be the best dad that I can, wake up every day, be as present as I can for my kids, keep crushing it on the court. There's one little thing that I was talking to my therapist about this morning. Brian Ortega, the guy is a dog, right? But I had read this quote, and I kind of feel like I'm in the same boat. Brian right now is like a shotgun with no bullets. Right, like the guy is a savage. He's tough as nails. He's scary talented, but just doesn't seem like he's like really, really in it, right? Yeah. And watching him and Aljo, like it was tough. It was tough to watch, right? And like Brian's last couple fights has been tough to watch. The guy's just been beat to shit, right? And yeah, I'm like in this boat right now where I'm 35. Even though I did get the stem cells and my body's feeling better, I'm just trying to find that inner savage again, that inner dog again, you know? Yeah. And I'm like. I'm like, my mindset's kind of all over the map. Some days I second guess myself. Some days I'm confident. I think I have like 5 years left to play, and just like the hungriness and like the determination, like the grit that I used to have compared to like where I'm at now, and just how I think I'm just so happy in life too, that it's tough to like keep being scrappy and keep being a savage as an athlete. And so I'm trying to find that inner self again. Right. And when I saw that quote, I'm like, oh my God, I feel like that's fucking me. Like I'm a bazooka that's working my ass off and doing everything right. But when I show up and compete, I just when the going gets tough, I just can't keep fighting. Like, I don't know. I like just that passion that I once had. It's still there, but it's dwindling.
Yeah.
You know,
And that's okay.
it,
There's this other chapters. And
there
there's other
is. I
things, and
know, but I know for sure.
It's. I mean, I'm not saying it's easy, but but it's. I think it's a part of life, and I think that I love that you are wrapping your mind around it already, because I think when it does come time, you'll have been, mulling this over, and it won't be such a, like a slap in the face.
For
Some
sure.
people never think about it, never think about that retirement or the next
And it
step,
comes
and it
like
comes,
that.
and then they're just not ready to it. So,
Sure.
so you've got a lot of things going on. I know you're gonna do great, and it was a lot of fun to talk to you today.
Oh, Miesha, it was such an honor. Honestly, I
it.
grew up watching your fights. You're from Seattle,
Oh,
home
I
from
love it.
Chelan. Honestly, thank you so much.
Yes, thank you. I appreciate you.